Portugal, deadly floods in Lisbon. Heavy rains trigger floods in Portugal's capital. 1 dead, flash flooding swept through the streets of Lisbon, capital of Portugal, after heavy rainfall on December 7, 2022. At least one fatality was reported and further heavy rain is expected. The government of Lisbon district urged people to stay indoors after heavy rainfall triggered flooding in several areas including Alcântara, Campo Grande, Campo Pequeno and Baixa. Buildings including a hospital were damaged. Roads cut and vehicular tunnels closed. Parts of the airport were also flooded. Portugal's Civil Protection Authority reported incidents of flooding and damage from severe weather in over 100 locations. One person died in a flooded basement home in Algarve in the municipality of Oeiras. One person managed to escape the building unharmed, according to figures from the Portuguese Institute for Sea and Atmosphere, IPMA. The Tapeda de Ajuda weather station in Lisbon recorded 82.3 mm of rain in 24 hours on 067 December. During the same period, the Geofísico weather station in Lisbon saw 80 mm, Amoreiras, Lisbon LFCL, 58.5 mm, G. Coutinho, Lisbon, 73.8 mm, and Almada recorded 50 mm. Portuguese President Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa visited affected areas and offered his condolences to the family of the victim. The mayor of Lisbon, Carlos Moedas, promised the construction of 2 drainage tunnels by 2025 in response. Heavy rain has been falling in Portugal since December 4. In 24 hours to December 5, Civil Protection reported 187 occurrences related to the adverse weather situation, mostly in the municipalities of Faro, 92, Lul, 14, Tavira, 17, and Albufeira, 13. The firefighters rescued were called on to rescue a person trapped in a vehicle after rising water in the town of Conceição, in Pigo do Aragaio, municipality of Tavira. The municipality of Faro reported several buildings damaged by floods. One school was closed. As much as 19.1 mm of rain fell in Faro in just 1 hour early on December 5. Lul in the district of Faro recorded 68.6 mm of rain on December 4 and Castro Marim, also in the Faro district, 62.5 mm on December 5. Lisbon, December 8. Reuters, local authorities put Portugal's capital, Lisbon, on high alert on Wednesday evening and urged people to stay indoors as heavy rains killed at least one person, washed cars away and flooded several buildings. Portuguese weather agency IPMA placed Lisbon as well as the neighboring district of Santarém in the southern Algarve region on a red weather warning due to intense rainfall and strong winds, which are expected to continue until Friday. Lisbon, December 8. Reuters, local authorities put Portugal's capital, Lisbon, on high alert on Wednesday evening and urged people to stay indoors as heavy rains killed at least one person, washed cars away and flooded several buildings. Portuguese weather agency IPMA placed Lisbon as well as the neighboring district of Santarém in the southern Algarve region on a red weather warning due to intense rainfall and strong winds, which are expected to continue until Friday. In Lisbon, the Civil Protection Authority has reported hundreds of incidents, from flooded streets, train stations, a theater, and even a hospital. Authorities have had to shut roads and tunnels. Images shared on social media showed flooding in parts of Lisbon's airport, and 2 flights were diverted. A spokeswoman told Reuters the airport was now operational. Civil Protection Commander André Fernandes said at a news conference that a 55-year-old woman had died in a flooded basement in Algarve, near Lisbon. Her husband, who was also in the basement, was rescued and survived. "We appeal to people not to leave their homes during these periods of heavy rain," Fernandes said, urging those who live in low-lying areas to seek shelter in safer places. Lisbon's mayor's office has also asked people to remain indoors. Mayor Carlos Moedas visited some of the flooded areas and said works to build a 5-kilometer, 3.11 miles, drainage tunnel were essential and should start soon. "These changes, due to global warming, are terrible," Moedas said. "We have to be prepared."
fazer ondas.